Truth is how we find a path to justice. So you do smile?
Tell no one.
Hey, Stephen, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. Great backdrop.
Thank you. Well, before we talk about Murder at the Embassy, I will say there was another film of yours I absolutely loved. That was The Magician's Raincoat.
Oh my gosh,
I
really?
did see it, and actually, matter of fact, I gave it last year at my World Film Geek Awards. I gave it the best family film out of.
Oh, that means so much to me. That movie was such a gem of a project to work on. I'm a huge fan of magic and Halloween. And it was such a good. I'm glad to hear that you enjoyed it. I still have this is the
There
poster
it is.
from the movie behind me.
Oh, wow, it's awesome.
So
But you did it again with Murder at the Embassy. I really loved it. It felt like a total throwback to watching a 1930s murder mystery. Of course, it was colorized and all that, but had it been done in black and white, I would have felt like I was watching this classic film. And you did such a great job in that film as well.
thank you for saying that. It means a lot. It takes a lot of work from a lot of people to pull it off. So anytime somebody, expresses their appreciation for it, it really does mean a lot.
So, what inspired you to take on this film to direct it?
Gosh, well, first of all, I've been dying to go to Egypt my whole life. I feel like a lot of people feel that way, and the opportunity to actually go there and shoot a movie, which is something that I absolutely love doing. It's like a no-brainer. And we were taking I was working with the same producers that we did on the first film. Mischa was coming back to reprise the role. So it was really easy to just kind of like dive right back into it. It was funny because I can't remember how much time, but it was over a year between the two projects. And then, having Mischa on set the first day for Murder at the Embassy was like, Miranda Green is back. It's just like we all just kind of like, it was like riding a bike, but a much bigger bike this time because we shot across three different continents and ended up pulling off some really, I think, exciting things, especially given the schedule we were up against, the parameters that the project, had for us to work with. But yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the things I loved about Mischa Barton in this one is like, people are used to her in a certain type of role. Like they rarely get to see her do something dramatically different, like
For
to
sure.
cast. This, I feel like, is going to be this is definitely a breakout role for her because she did it so passionately with the pulling off the accent and bringing that character to life. It's like she was perfect. Like I don't think you could find a more perfect actress to play this role who's
Yeah.
dedicated to it.
Yeah, Miranda Green is a challenging character to portray, I think, because she's got so much book smarts, but she's a little bit lower on the street smarts or the like social graces, I guess you'd say. So you have this highly intelligent person who's like just bumping into people and accidentally offending them and trying to, frequently biting off more than she can chew, but then just working until she can solve the case. And Mischa does an excellent job writing that line of still being very likable, lovable as this person who kind of like has her own awkward moments, but also these moments of brilliance and like very cute, very fun, very sharp. So yeah, she's fantastic.
Yeah, I think of her as a female Sherlock Holmes in a way,
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
what worked. And I felt like if there was going to be a Watson in this movie, it was definitely going to be Mahmoud, played by Mido Hamada, who I
Right?
recently just spoke with about this. And I had brought this up to him, like, dude, you're like the Watson to her Sherlock Holmes if you had to compare the two. But of course, I like that he goes from acting all tough and brash, but as the film progressed, you saw that he's just as likable as Miranda was by the end because I
Yeah.
feel like you can relate to what he's going through. Like he got denied this job
Hmm.
investigating and he felt, threatened, but she was willing to ultimately work with him on the case, and bring him in. And they formed like this great partnership
Yeah.
towards, once everything was solved. And, he did such a great job. What was it like working with him?
Oh, he's fantastic. And they both, God bless them, rode camels for this movie. And I had never really thought about how difficult an animal to ride a camel is before. But seeing the two of them up on camels I was just like, it's not at all like a horse or any other animal that a human could ride. Those things, the way that they move and the way that they stoop down, like you've got to brace for the like really sudden drop and everything. And but just watching the two of them, because we started the movie with the two of them, just the two of them and the pyramids, and it was just like, wow, like here we are, and we needed to shoot a scene first up where we're in the middle of that character arc that you're talking about,
Mhm.
and we're starting to see Mahmoud warm up to her and finally kind of like work with her. And so right away, Mido is kind of thrown into this, okay, so here's where I was, but we haven't shot that part yet. Here's where I am now, and here's where I'm headed, and just to pick it up there, and then go back and give us the lead up to that, like talk about talent. That's incredible, and the chemistry between the two of them is a lot of fun. I think it's one of my favorite things to watch in the movie. So,
Yeah, it felt like kind of like a buddy comedy type things,
uh-huh,
a
for sure,
buddy
yeah,
type thing. What I also realized was the all the references to 1930s cinema in terms of Betty, the actress,
yeah,
and it just brought back memories of stuff I grew up, I grew up watching Laurel and Hardy, the Marx Brothers, Abbott and
yeah.
Costello, that type of stuff, and then here you are, directing this movie, and then with The Magician's Raincoat, you still brought that sense of nostalgia with the flashback scenes. So it seems, to me, it seems like you have a total love of this nostalgic era of, the old days.
Yeah, there's so much there's just so much texture to that time and other times too. Like it's really fun to dive into something that is completely different from now. But people have been the same, right? They're just living in an era without certain technologies and with certain, styles and expectations and things and it's always like it's a welcome challenge, I think, to kind of work in those constraints and figure out, okay, how do we make this feel as authentic as we can, from the clothes to the vehicles to the locations, and it can get difficult sometimes, but boy, is it magical when you can look at the frame after all of that hard work and like just believe that what you're looking at is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, maybe if people see this film, it might want them to start delving into this, watching these older films too to see what it's like.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully that'll be the case. And so my next question is, how long did shooting actually take on this, and were there any challenges that you faced during shooting on this?
Yeah, yeah. Gosh, I can't remember exactly how many days, but it was insanely fast. Um, and again, the big challenge that I think we were up against was the fact that we were working across three continents. We were coordinating multiple teams and watching that collaboration kind of occur and trying to like make sure that everyone's always on the same page. It's like it is a challenge, but it's one of the things that I'm the most proud of with this project. Like the fact that we had these dedicated crews in different places of the world, and we were able to pull things together and make something kind of so special with all of that effort, and without ever actually being physically in the same place at the same time. Like the internet has made collaboration across countries so much more possible than it has been in the past. And comparing notes on like there are some interiors where like there are locations that you'll see in Egypt that we then replicate in the UK, and hopefully you don't notice when we've gone between the two, and you're kind of just believing that all of this work that got put into bringing that world together is just like successfully just immersing you in the experience. But yeah. Yeah, I would say it was definitely a learning experience, but a very welcome kind of like exciting, adventurous learning experience.
That's awesome. So what is next for you after this that you can talk about? Any new projects in the works?
Yeah, we're working on the third installment of the Miranda Green mystery trilogy, so that's currently in the works. I can't share a lot of details about it, but we're very much steeped in taking her on her next adventure and making it as unique from chapters 1 and 2 as chapter 2 is from chapter 1, and trying to find new and fresh things to put these characters through. So
That's awesome. Everyone, it's time to travel back to the 1930s. Check out Murder at the Embassy on November 14th. And Stephen, thank you so much for taking the time to talk about the movie.
hey, thank you.
All right, take care.
You too.